the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, and tonight's presenting sponsor, the Chickasaw Nation, are proud to present the 93rd Annual Oklahoma Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony. Simulcast across this great state and beyond, tonight we bestow our state's highest honor on Calvin J. Anthony, Chief Gary Batten, Martha Berger, Charles Dennis Denny Cressup, Terry Stewart Forst, Stephen M. Prescott, Francis Rooney, and John W. Smith. And now, please welcome Oklahoma Hall of Fame President and CEO, Shannon L. Rich, and Chairman, Bruce Benbrook.
Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. 2020 has indeed been a year that none of us could have imagined, and navigating it continues to challenge us in many ways. When selection of this year's Oklahoma Hall of Fame class began, it was business as usual. It quickly became clear that this year's induction ceremony would look different. For the first time in our 93-year history, including through the Great Depression and 2 World Wars, we are unable to gather in person for this special evening. However, the significance of induction to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame remains the same, and we could not be prouder to call tonight's honorees Oklahomans. 2020 also has provided leadership of this organization the opportunity to reflect deeply on its history and plan for its future.
This year we've examined processes and programming as well as the communities we serve and celebrate. While we provide for many audiences, in reality there is still much work to be done to ensure we include all Oklahomans in everything we do. We are committed to honoring great leaders of all races, religions, cultures, ethnicities, socioeconomic statuses, genders, sexual orientations, and physical and intellectual abilities. We are building programming that celebrates diversity and inclusion and equity. Together, we will create a legacy for the Oklahoma Hall of Fame of unity, justice, and truth. And we recognize that we don't have all the answers and that there are difficult discussions to be had and important work to do. But we promise that our words and actions will demonstrate and support our commitment to make this organization, along with all it has to offer, accessible to every Oklahoman. And we ask that you join us as we chart the next 93 years for the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 28th Governor of the great state of Oklahoma, Governor Kevin Stitt.
Good evening. Welcome to the 93rd Annual Oklahoma Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony. Tonight, we are bestowing Oklahoma's highest honor on 8 remarkable Oklahomans. Although we are unable to gather in person, the pride we have in celebrating the accomplishments and contributions of these men and women remain paramount. Their stories remind us that Oklahomans are the most zealous, diverse, and innovative. Their stories inspire us, challenge us. During this unprecedented time in our history, we must remember the grit, ingenuity, and prowess of those who built this great state. We must celebrate those who continue to invest in its future. And we must invest our own gifts, our own prowess, to ensure Oklahoma is stronger for the next generation. Congratulations to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame Class of 2020. Tonight is your night, and we are celebrating you from every corner of this state, this nation, and abroad. And now, it is my privilege to introduce tonight's Masters of Ceremonies, both of whom are members of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. One is the first woman to host a network sports show when she co-hosted ABC Wide World of Sports. The other, a former U.S. Congressman and the first to launch the nation's only channel dedicated to covering the unique perspective of African American communities. Ladies and gentlemen, Becky Dixon and J.C. Watts Jr.
Good evening. JC and I are thrilled to be with you tonight to celebrate the unique, talented, and generous class of 2020 as we welcome them into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. While this year's ceremony is different than when we were inducted, the excitement and anticipation remain the same. Tonight will certainly be a night to remember.
Becky, I couldn't agree with you more. In addition to the induction of this year's honorees, we will be naming an Oklahoma Ambassador of Goodwill. And not surprising, once the difficult decision was made for this year's ceremony to be virtual, former inductees were eager to make tonight extra special. So let's kick off tonight by hearing from not only an Oklahoma Hall of Famer, but also a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Hi everybody, my name is Johnny Bench and I'm an inductee of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame in 1984, and I just want to congratulate all of you. I was looking forward to coming back this year and being a part of the 2020 celebration. And congratulations to each and every one of you, and I don't want to forget all of you. So Calvin, Gary, Martha, Denny, Terry, Dr. Prescott, Francis, and John Smith. What a great honor it is for all of us to have you inducted along with us in the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. What an unbelievable honor and what an unbelievable career and life you've had. We're proud of you, and we want to say congratulations to each and every one of you.
What a treat for this year's honorees and our viewers.
Becky, definitely a treat, and there are more to come, but how about introducing our first presenter, and let's get the 2020 inductions underway.
I would be honored. Our first presenter is the 25th governor of the great state of Oklahoma and a member of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame class of 2005. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Frank Keating.
I have the honor to present to you the newest member of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, my friend, Congressman Francis Rooney. Francis and I received our undergraduate degrees from the same university. I have known him as a friend and an extraordinary leader for decades. Everything he has touched, he has made better and stronger and much admired. He transformed his family enterprise into a world-respected monolith. He has shared his time and talent and treasure with a wide variety of good causes, each made better because of his service. When I was governor, he saved a foundering effort to make us a constitutional right-to-work state, something that would not have happened without him. He helped to build the dome on our Capitol building. All completed at his cost, it would not have happened without him. He has served as a diplomat and a member of Congress, giving back and building up. Good things happened because of him. He is also a talented author, penning 2 superb books on the history of the Vatican in world affairs. The text and the presentation of this fascinating story would not have happened without him. It is said that society produces eventful people and event-making people. The former are there by good fortune, the right place at the right time. The latter are there because they made good things happen. Francis Rooney is an event-making man. I am proud to present to you Ambassador Francis Rooney.
Francis Rooney was born and raised in Muskogee, Oklahoma, alongside his 5 siblings. He graduated from Georgetown University and its Law Center, where he remains active today. Georgetown is also where he met wife Kathleen. Best known for the family business, L.H. Rooney founded Manhattan Construction in 1896 and received the first corporate charter following statehood in 1907. Ownership remained in the family with Rooney's grandfather and father until Rooney himself assumed leadership in 1984. Today, as a subsidiary of Rooney Holdings, the fifth generation oversees daily operations. One of the largest privately held construction firms in the nation, Manhattan's resume includes the Texas Rangers Ballpark, the Skydance Pedestrian Bridge, presidential libraries for both George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush, the Dallas Cowboys AT&T Stadium, Oklahoma State University's Gallagher-Iba Arena expansion, the Oklahoma State Capitol, and the new Visitor Center in the nation's capital. Rooney attributes Manhattan's success to strong Oklahoma values.
There are a lot of things that make me so proud and thankful to be an Oklahoman. One is the incredible good nature and work ethic of people from our state. I'm thankful every day to have worked in and built a company based in Oklahoma. Our people have gone out around the world and succeeded where others could not. We would not have the business and the clients we have were it not for the work ethic and values of our core Oklahoma team.
Appointed by President George W. Bush, Rooney served as the United States Ambassador to the Holy See. A devout Catholic, Rooney was honored to serve with the leadership of the Roman Catholic Church from 2005 to 2008. 5 years later, he released The Global Vatican, an inside look at the Catholic Church, world politics, and the extraordinary relationship between the United States and the Holy See. Since 2017, Rooney has represented Florida's 19th Congressional District in the United States House of Representatives. A member of the bipartisan Everglades and Estuary Caucuses, his desire to restore the Everglades was the catalyst for his initial run for Congress. Rooney's diverse careers have provided for many unique relationships, including those with Prime Minister Boris Johnson and former President of Colombia, Alvaro Uribe Vélez, Ambassador of Panama to the United States, Jaime Alleman, and United States Secretary of State, Colin Powell. With his wife Kathleen, Rooney is the father of 3 and grandfather to 2. The children have learned from their father a strong work ethic and sense of commitment and responsibility for others, each employing the traits in their own lives. They also have learned to embrace adventure. An avid and experienced navigator, Rooney is at home on the water. He enjoys traveling with Kathleen, his family, and friends, and he has a true appreciation for the great outdoors. Oklahoma Hall of Fame honoree, Francis Rooney.
I first want to thank Governor Frank Keating, one of Oklahoma's greatest governors, my presenter tonight, and a longtime friend. Next, I want to acknowledge and thank my wife of 42 years, Kathleen, and our 3 children, Larry, Michael, and Kathleen. We were extremely fortunate to raise them in the safe and nurturing environment of Tulsa, Oklahoma. There are hundreds more Oklahomans I would like to thank, but it would take a lot more time than we have here. I have had incredible friends and mentors from all around the state and could never have rebuilt our construction business after my father died in 1980 without the support and backing of our major Oklahoma clients and financial institutions. The Oklahoma Hall of Fame is a uniquely important institution in our state, and I'm deeply humbled and thankful to even be considered for induction. The list of past inductees is itself a history of the building and evolution of the state of Oklahoma, and a powerful testament to the courage, dedication, and entrepreneurship which so many Oklahomans have exhibited over the years, before and after November 16, 1907. These are the people who have laid the foundation for leadership and continued prosperity in the 21st century. In our construction businesses, since 1896, we have sent good, honest, and decent Oklahoma builders all around the United States and in many areas of the Caribbean and Latin America. There is no doubt that a large part of our success has been the quality of our Oklahoma workforce. Oklahomans are the best people there are, and this quality has given us, as I assume it has to many other Oklahoma companies, a significant strategic and operational advantage against our out-of-state competitors. There's no better place to grow up, build a career, and raise a family than in Oklahoma, and I'm thankful daily for having been raised in Muskogee and having built our business and raised our family in Tulsa. So, in closing, I once again thank the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, my family, Governor Keating, and all the great Oklahomans who have supported us and our companies over the years. Thank you.
Congratulations, Congressman Rooney, and welcome to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. And now please join me in welcoming the president of Cressup Capital and the son of our next honoree, John Cressup.
While many of you know me as John, I'm also known by a certain nickname, Minnie Denny. That's the name I wear like a badge of honor, because my father, Denny Cressup, imparted to me the most everything that's important in my life. He taught me not to be afraid of responsibility that comes with caring for others. He instilled a work ethic and challenged me daily, teaching me to never be satisfied, which is why I continue to grow as a person. Still today, he teaches me to soar through the day, much like the eagle takes flight that we use to represent the Cressup Family Foundation. Through the foundation, we're giving back millions to communities statewide through education and regional food banks, among others. So it shouldn't surprise anyone, I'm proud to be Minnie Denny. He is my father, he's my best friend. He is the epitome of that never-ending candle, always lighting the way for others.
Although the Windy City may claim the birthplace and early years of Charles Dennis Denny Cressup, it is Oklahoma where he planted his roots. He attended the University of Oklahoma, pledging Phi Gamma Delta. After college, he enlisted in the United States Army, serving in Frankfurt, Germany. Following an honorable discharge, he joined his family in Veneta, Oklahoma, and took a job with National Distillers. Cressup also went on a blind date with Gail Campbell, and less than 1 year later, the couple married and relocated to Tulsa. Moving next to Oklahoma City, where Cressup became state manager, the couple's son, John Dennis Cressup, was born. Cressup turned down a promotion and a move to New York because he and Gail wanted to remain in Oklahoma. Taking a leap of faith, they purchased a Ford dealership in Pawhuska before Cressup entered the wholesale beer business when he and a partner purchased a distributorship in Bartlesville and joined the Anheuser-Busch family.
Frederick Drummond, the rancher in Pawhuska, was in the Ford garage, and I told him about the distributorship being for sale, and David, again, his fraternity brother from OSU, was the wholesaler in Fort Smith and also a cattle raiser. So we called David, and he said it was a good business to get into. So Frederick and I got into it in 1968. We were exclusive Bud, Michelob, and Busch. But because of the high volume and popularity of Coors beer, it was a tough go when we first started.
Growing from serving 2.5 counties to 27, including the capital cities market. By 2011, Premium Beers of Oklahoma was one of the largest Anheuser-Busch distributors in the world, selling more than 10.5 million cases annually. In December 2011, Premium Beers was sold to Anheuser-Busch. With proceeds from the sale, the family created the Cressup Family Foundation. Every day since, the foundation has improved the quality of life of Oklahomans through their support of youth and families, health and wellness, education, arts and humanities, and animal welfare. Married for more than 60 years and a proud father, Cressup always has felt a deep responsibility to care for those around him. That sense of responsibility has resulted in a legacy for the next generation and the generations that follow. It is an honor to induct to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, Charles Dennis Denny Cressup.
It's hard for me to summarize all the memories that have raced through my mind during this humbling and overwhelming process. But two thoughts have continued to come to the forefront. One is my life handed me the opportunity to build a tremendous business based simply on my natural talent in making friends. I learned that by being concerned with the well-being and genuine happiness of people you meet, they'll be just as interested in your well-being and happiness. And the second thought is, the other great good fortune of my life, being called an Oklahoman. I moved to Oklahoma in 1952, the year I graduated high school, but I was originally from a tiny town up north called Chicago. Maybe you've heard of it. Truthfully, that's where the friendship of our neighbors, Art and Mildred Thrall, proved so pivotal in my life. The Thralls rallied around my parents. They helped fund my education at Morgan Park Military Academy in Chicago. And most importantly, they gave me my first job where I formed so many qualities that helped me all my life. The value of hard work, perseverance, and integrity, the import and significance of an unpretentious but firm eye-to-eye handshake, and the knowledge that a dream doesn't just run up and plop in your lap. The Thralls became highly successful in the railroad industry. It was from them and my parents that I learned you have to roll up your sleeves, move forward, and chase down those hopes and aspirations. And no matter how high you climb the tree, you can never give up reaching for the next branch. I'd like to thank those people dear to me, but I don't have time to list so many who looked after my family, those who helped make Premium Beers of Oklahoma a truly premium business, and the countless who were there for life after beer. And for my family's proudest achievement, the Cressa Family Foundation that we established in 2011. Today, the foundation's nearly $8 million in grants and financial assistance has improved the health and happiness of so many Oklahomans and our neighbors. What joy it is to know that our foundation will continue to grow for generations to come. To be able to say your life is worth living is all anyone can hope to do. So thank you for giving me that worth. I wish I could be with all of you in person, but I consider it a privilege to call you my friends, and it's my genuine honor to be officially labeled an Oklahoman in the Hall. I'd also like to leave some words of advice for tomorrow's dreamers. It's harder today than when I started, but I encourage those just getting started in this blessed state to rise up and take your turn. We need you. Find a dream. Take a risk. Don't give up, but no matter how hard you work, make sure you enjoy what you're doing each day along the way. Good night and God bless.
A true example of creating a legacy of generosity. Thank you, Mr. Cressip. Earlier this year, when the Gaylord Pickens Museum was forced to close due to the global pandemic, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame's team's first concern was how do we continue to serve the audiences that depend so heavily on us? Staff went to work and in a matter of days created OHOF at Home, digital programming to take the place of what was previously administered in person. Educational opportunities have continued to expand with 12 new virtual programs to date, reaching tens of thousands of families and classrooms across Oklahoma and throughout our digital reach every day. Let's meet the Page family, a regular OHOF at Home participant.
I remember vividly when the Oklahoma Hall of Fame came out with virtual programming early on in the pandemic when we were at home all of the time. And for me, it was a really beautiful example of a local organization stepping up to meet the needs of families.
Reed Drummond was in the Hall of Fame, and it was really fun to make her recipes at home. I like Wiley Post because we got to build this airplane.
What I really love about the Oklahoma Hall of Fame is the focus on teaching history through our people. But for me, it took away some of my mom's stress and mom guilt about providing engaging and meaningful educational opportunities for my kids.
Having a great time while learning about a wide range of Oklahomans? Now that's a win for sure. Our next presenter is the Executive Director of Communities Foundation of Oklahoma. Please welcome Teresa Rose Crook to introduce our next honoree.
We often admire those who build buildings with their lasting impact and effect on people and communities. But another kind of hero has the same deep, lasting impact. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "For our success to be real, it must contribute to the success of others." This is the deep, lasting success of our next honoree, Martha Berger. Once upon a time, Martha was a successful accountant. Then, in the early days of Chesapeake Energy, her dear friend and boss, Aubrey McClendon, the hard-working, successful visionary, presented her with a choice: accounting or human resources. Martha paused. Where could she have the greatest impact? Well, she chose the path of human resources. And many, many people, including myself, have benefited because she traded numbers for people. Her cheerful and optimistic personality makes being with her invigorating and inspiring. People love her, and she loves people. Martha is one of those rare people who conveys, without saying, that you are important, and what you're saying is important. Consistently working with honesty, humility, and purpose, Martha is a respected model leader across Oklahoma and beyond. At Chesapeake, she was the driver behind creating a dynamic corporate culture recognized as a Fortune 500 company. She exercises the same energy and passion of building up people as president of Oklahoma City University. She mentors people by enabling them to see their potential and then helping them realize that potential. Martha makes everyone better. I know. And those she influences influence others, and they influence even more people. The cascading impact is beyond count or calculation. Like great architects, Martha's presence leaves an enduring impact and lasting impression. People matter to Martha. Oklahoma matters to Martha. And our state is a far better place because Martha Berger calls it home. It is my deep honor to present to you the next inductee to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. My mentor, my friend, Martha Berger.
Martha Berger started out life in Stamford, Connecticut with her parents Jane and Robert and older sister Sue. She graduated from Wilmington, Delaware's Concord High, co-captain of the cheerleading squad, before enrolling at the University of Missouri and pledging Delta Gamma. Friendships and travel with her sorority sisters continue today. While working in Oklahoma City, Berger met Donald Rowlett, and the two were married in 1985. While working full-time, she earned her accounting degree from the University of Central Oklahoma and her MBA from Oklahoma City University. Berger entered the oil and gas industry in 1994 when joining Chesapeake Energy Corporation, a Fortune magazine top 100 company. She built one of the strongest teams in company history, something she is known for. Chaired the annual United Way campaign, raising $22.5 million. Fostered a strong relationship with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Worked with Orange County Choppers to build the first natural gas chopper in the world, and was instrumental in the conception and development of the Boathouse District.
When Aubrey would talk about the boathouses and how what the river could be, he knew that we had to break tradition. And when you think of the Northeast and the old-fashioned colonial-style boathouses, he knew that wasn't going to work for Oklahoma City. The iconic structures that we have are known throughout the world. And I know this because I've had the opportunity to travel to Europe to visit with people as they are designing boathouses. And they talk all the time about recreating and could they potentially recreate what we have in Oklahoma City. Mike Knopp is known throughout the world as kind of the czar of our boathouse district, and he is revered. And I think that watching he and Aubrey make that all come to real life has been just one of the greatest blessings in my life.
Following retirement, Berger continued her support of organizations important to her, including World Neighbors. In 2018, she became the first female president at Oklahoma City University. Actively engaged, Berger joined sophomores to help freshmen on move-in day, celebrates matriculation ceremonies with students and families, has partnered with China's Hunan Normal University to increase educational opportunities, traveled to visit alumni in Malaysia, and received the NAIA's Directors Cup for being named the country's best athletic department. Successes aside, family and friends are most cherished by Berger. She's extremely close to her sister Sue. Her nephew Greg and nieces Kristen and Beth and their families give her such joy. Given the opportunity to travel, Berger always answers yes. And Africa is her favorite destination, her happy place. Often accompanied by family and friends, she and Dawn have traveled the world and chartered many miles. Berger will tell you, "I haven't been everywhere, but it's on my list. There's still much to see." Oklahoma Hall of Fame Class of 2020 honoree, Martha Berger.
Good evening. Hall of Fame Board of Directors, thank you. Fellow Hall of Fame Class of 2020 honorees, congratulations. For me, reading the biographies of the members of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame reinforces just how significantly the individuals who have been recognized have shaped the rich history that is uniquely Oklahoma's. Because of them, I have been given opportunities for which I will forever be grateful. I want to mention the Board of Trustees of Oklahoma City University, who put their trust in me when they selected me as president of OCU. I admire our board members so much, and I'm honored that they gave me the opportunity to serve my beloved OCU in this way. Thank you to the people that I love. Teresa, your beautiful words of introduction mean more than you know. My sister Sue, who always has my back. My dear friend Jennifer, who tells me the truth no matter what. And Dawn, who has held my heart so close to his and cared for it beyond measure. And the friends and family members who just get me. They have granted me the grace to do my thing and have loved me in spite of the late birthday cards, the failure to make all the girls' nights out, and the many, many late nights and weekends at the office. So thank you to them. And by the way, I love you back. I conclude by saying cheers to Oklahoma. There is indeed much work to be done in our state. It was true before COVID-19, and it's even more true now. But I am filled with optimism. I'm filled with optimism because the Oklahomans I know, including those being recognized tonight, will not rest until the work is done. So to Oklahoma, the state that I call home and that I love so much, I say cheers to you, and I know that the best is yet to come.
The Boathouse District in downtown Oklahoma City is definitely one of our state's brightest gems. Thank you, President Berger, for your work in making it a reality. A former Olympic coach, executive director of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame Museum in Stillwater, and brother of our next honoree, ladies and gentlemen, Leroy Smith.
From the time he was a youngster, my brother John Smith was determined to be a great wrestler. The seventh of 10 children, born to Madeline and Leroy Smith of Dell City, he began wrestling at age 5. My mother remembers that he lost most of his earliest matches, but I recall his only losses being to his older siblings in our living room. Both of our parents were supportive of our dreams, my dad focusing on learning from each match, while my mom motivated us to be competitive. Her philosophy was to find something you love and be a real go-getter to be successful. John took both of their lessons to heart, taking his unique talents to a level that no other American had ever achieved before in international wrestling competition. For 6 straight years, he dominated his weight class in world and Olympic competition with an innovative style that no one could stop. After the Barcelona Olympics in 1992, John took that competitive fire to Oklahoma State to build on its legacy as the winningest wrestling program in NCAA history. As he enters his 29th year, he has led OSU to 5 NCAA titles, 19 Big 12 conference titles, and has coached 32 individual NCAA champions and 5 Olympians. He is famous around the world in wrestling, but John has never lived more than an hour from where he was born. He and his wife Toni, married almost 25 years, are raising 5 children rooted in their Catholic faith and in Oklahoma. I'm honored to present my youngest brother, John William Smith, into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame.
John W. Smith is recognized as the greatest wrestler in American history. A 2-time Olympic champion, winning gold in Seoul, South Korea in 1988, and again in 1992 in Barcelona, Spain. And 6-time world champion, Smith has been honored with nearly every award in his sport. The FILA Award named him the best technical wrestler in the world, and he was the first wrestler to receive the coveted James E. Sullivan Award, given to one outstanding amateur athlete annually. His inductions include the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. And the OSU Division of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources named a new wheat variety in his honor, Smith's Gold. Smith credits his family for instilling his fierce competitive nature and drive.
Growing up in a family of 10, got to be competitive, got to be driven. You know, are you going to be the first one up to get a hot shower at 7 a.m., 6:30, whenever it is? You're going to be at dinner early so you can get a plate full of food. Are you going to fight for underwear, fight for a towel that's not wet, and on and on and on? Only can imagine. But through my family, you develop a level of competitiveness and being driven to accomplish things, you know. And for me, in the sport of wrestling, those carried over. And I think you got to be careful with some of that, right? I mean, there's times when I was training that didn't know what day it was. All I was focused on was winning, especially towards the end of my career. It almost was not healthy at times. So you got to keep that competitiveness, and you got to keep that drive that you have. You got to keep it in check, because it can get out of balance a little bit, and we forget the things that are important: your faith, your family, your close friends, and all of a sudden you haven't spoke to any of them in 3 months. So if there's one trait that's really done me some good and done me a little bit of harm, but I learned from that harm, it would be being competitive and very driven.
In 1992, Smith became head wrestling coach for his alma mater, Oklahoma State University. His coaching career has been as impressive as his wrestling career, winning his first of 5 NCAA championships within his first 2 years. His Cowboys have won 22 conference championships and 8 Big 12 championships. He has coached 5 Olympians, 32 NCAA individual champions, 142 All-Americans, and 123 individual conference champions. His Pokes competed in the first NCAA Division I international duel in Naples, Italy. At home and abroad, Coach Smith is always of interest to the local media. He is not only revered in the sport of wrestling, but collegiate and professional sports as a whole. His wrestlers never take for granted the impact he has on their lives on and off the mat. A zealous hunter and fisherman, Smith is a sportsman in its truest sense. Married to wife Tony since 1995, the couple share a love for the great outdoors. Together, they have 5 children: Cecilia, Sam, Joe, Levi, and Isabel, and make their home on the family farm outside of Stillwater. The first wrestler to receive Oklahoma's highest honor, John W. Smith.
I want to thank the Oklahoma Hall of Fame for this recognition. For me, this is telling me that, John Smith, through your wrestling, you have moved Oklahoma forward. And for that reason, I'm very humbled. I want to congratulate my classmates. Wow, what incredible bios. After reading them, you inspired me to do better. Thank you. And I'm very, very honored to be going in the 2020 class with you. I want to recognize my wife and my 5 children. What a journey we've had through the sport of wrestling. A lot of fun. I'm looking forward to our future. I want to recognize my father, my mother, and my 9 siblings. We grew up in Del City, Oklahoma. What a life we had, and wrestling was a big part of it. I want to talk a little bit about my oldest brother, Leroy, who just unselfishly gave, and helped me develop some of the skills, helped me develop some of the things that I really needed to understand in order to do some of the things I was able to do. And more importantly, very strong in his faith that it always is, that I've admired in him. I want to recognize Oklahoma State University. Wow, everything I've ever dreamed about accomplishing in my life, I've been able to accomplish right here at Oklahoma State. Academically, as a student athlete, and today as a coach, going into my 30th year. Thank you, Oklahoma State. You've been a huge part of my life. And just in closing, I think of all the wrestlers and coaches over the years in Oklahoma who've achieved greatness. I stand today on the shoulders of giants. I mean giants. I am truly humbled to be the first in the sport inducted into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. Thank you.
What a guy, what an athlete. Congratulations, Coach Smith. How about another special appearance, this time from the class of 2010? You know her from Broadway, the big screen, and television. Let's take a peek.
Hi everybody, it's Kristen Chenoweth. I wanted to congratulate the class of 2020 for the Oklahoma Hall of Fame Awards. I have to tell you, ever since I got inducted, something magical happened. Everywhere I go, people say, you're the one from Oklahoma, and I get to be the one to say, yes, and I'm also in the Hall of Fame. So to my fellow graduates, I want to say congratulations.
I know for a fact Kristen is also a hardcore Thunder fan. Throughout the show, you will see scrolling across the bottom of the screen the patron donors who have made tonight possible. We would not be here without their support and generosity. We owe them an enormous debt of gratitude. But did you know donors from tonight make programming and opportunities available the other 364 days of the year as well?
And Becky, I wonder if tonight's audience knows all that the Oklahoma Hall of Fame does throughout the year. For instance, do they know the financial barrier visiting the museum has been removed with the free field trip program, and either a gas stipend or lunch is offered to visiting schools? Or that for nearly 50 years, students have been able to pursue higher education because of their scholarship opportunities? Do they know the Oklahoma Hall of Fame is recognized as the leader in publishing Oklahoma's history and places copies of their titles in schools and public libraries at no charge to strengthen resources on our great state? And that a wide range of programming is created specifically for those times of the year when school is not in session, like fall and spring breaks and summer. Their teen board, one of the most active in the state, and their Second Century Board of Young Professionals annually host fundraisers to support the Oklahoma Hall of Fame's mission. and their gallery celebrates the talents of Oklahoma artists all year round.
Well, if they didn't know it before, they know it now. And in reality, you just scratched the surface of what the Oklahoma Hall of Fame and Gaylord Pickens Museum makes possible for Oklahomans of all ages. Now let's introduce the 2020 Oklahoma Ambassador of Goodwill. He has represented his home state proudly in 41 countries around the globe with his unique musical style. He is the youngest recipient ever to receive the Oklahoma Governor's Arts Award, is an Oklahoma Creativity Ambassador, and has released a dozen full-length albums. He has performed for the King of Malaysia, the Princess of Thailand, and the Beijing Central Conservatory, among countless international dignitaries and U.S. ambassadors. Managed by Oklahoma Hall of Fame member Jim Halsey, Kyle made his Grand Ole Opry debut last year. Please welcome this year's Oklahoma Ambassador of Goodwill, Kyle Dillingham, to perform Homa for the first time publicly with Horseshoe Road.
14 days and nights away, I fiddle up and down this highway, singing almost every night, trying hard to make it right, with every minute adding up. I drink this coffee in my cup, these little smiles reminding me why I can't wait to be back home. Look so good from up above my home, place where I first fell in love. Oh, I can't wait to be back home in Oklahoma. Stars up in the summer night sky, home. Sunsets always make me cry. Oh, I can't wait to be back home in Oklahoma. I roll over, you're not there, but I'm the only one who cares, 'cause everybody's smiling now. I find a way to give somehow, but the last thing that I want to see, one more stage between my lover and me. I've got to let you go, but tomorrow you should know I'll be back home. Looks so good from up above my home, place where I first fell in love. Oh, I can't wait to be back home in Oklahoma. Stars up in the summer night sky, home. Sunsets always make me cry. Oh, I can't wait to be back home in Oklahoma. Home, Oklahoma. A thunderstorm is rolling in. It feels so good to breathe again. This land and sky reminding me why I am so proud to be back home. June bugs in the front porch light, my home, where everything will be alright. Oh, I can't wait to be back home. Wheat fields far as I can see, home. Live simple, life is all I need. Oh, I can't wait to be back home in Oklahoma. Something in the atmosphere, home. Well, I can tell the Lord is here, and it feels so good to be back home in Oklahoma. Home.
Thank you for that, Kyle. That was really good. You certainly have earned the privilege of being named an Oklahoma Ambassador of Goodwill. Kyle and Horseshoe Road will be back later in our show. Let's hear from another Oklahoma Hall of Fame member. Inducted during our state centennial, he's a huge proponent of our military, and his foundation encourages the health and happiness of pediatric cancer patients.
Hey, this is Toby Keith, congratulating all the 2020 honorees into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
I jog about twice a week with Toby Keith. I jog on the treadmill, and he sings in my earbuds. Toby, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Our next presenter is a 2009 Oklahoma Hall of Fame inductee and the current president of Oklahoma State University. Ladies and gentlemen, Burns Hargis.
I'm delighted to introduce my good friend, Calvin Anthony. Calvin has served Oklahoma, his profession, and his community with humility, grit, and unfailing common sense. Calvin grew up in Kearney, Oklahoma, and went the short distance to Oklahoma State University with big dreams. He earned his pharmacy degree from the University of Oklahoma and embarked on a distinguished career. In addition to owning and operating several successful pharmacies, Calvin has held numerous state and national leadership positions. He led the National Community Pharmacists Association in Washington, D.C., where he provided input to 3 United States presidents on pharmacy and healthcare issues, and earned the praise of U.S. governors and legislators. Throughout his career, Calvin has encouraged, mentored, and supported many aspiring pharmacists. Calvin has given back to his state and community. He held key positions in the Oklahoma legislature. He was mayor of Stillwater, and he's been a champion of higher education. I served with Calvin as a member of the OSU A&M Board of Regents, and for the last 12 years have worked for him as he continues his service as a regent. I value his wisdom and sound counsel. Oklahoma has been incredibly enriched by the life and work of Calvin Anthony. He's been supported every step of the way by his wonderful family, wife Linda, and his children Rebecca, Luke, and Andrew. It's my extreme honor to present the newest member of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, Calvin J. Anthony.
Calvin J. Anthony grew up in Kearney, Oklahoma with his parents Nicola and Alva, and siblings Bob, Judy, Patty, and Sherry. Destined to be a cowboy, Anthony was active in Future Farmers of America, earning top honors, played baseball, and earned a spot on the 1963 All-State Baseball team for the north half of Oklahoma before graduating as valedictorian of his class and attending Oklahoma State University on a baseball scholarship. He took with him a responsibility to serve others, something he learned from working at the family's grocery, dry goods, and feed stores. Anthony later graduated with honors from the University of Oklahoma College of Pharmacy and married Linda Thomas just 3 months later. The newlyweds returned to Stillwater and purchased Tiger Drug, celebrating the store's centennial in 2008. Drugstores acquired in neighboring communities ultimately were transferred to young pharmacists who worked for Anthony. Always active civically, he was elected mayor of Stillwater in 1985, and as one of his first acts, instituted a sister city agreement with Kamioka, Japan, a partnership that continues today. He next set his sights on the Oklahoma House of Representatives. Elected, Anthony served on Health, Education, and Appropriations committees, and helped pass much-needed reform to the Oklahoma Pharmacy Practice Act. While in the legislature, he chaired a joint committee that successfully solved funding obstacles between the University of Oklahoma's medical school and the former Oklahoma Memorial Hospital. Nearly a decade later, while serving as an OSU regent, Anthony was instrumental in a similar scenario with Oklahoma State University's medical school and its medical center. He has served as president of both the Oklahoma Pharmacists Association and the National Association of Retail Druggists, where he was often called on to provide testimony before congressional committees. Anthony became CEO of the national organization and relocated with his family to Washington, D.C., where he became a trusted advisor to the president on health care reform and policy issues. Returning to Stillwater, he served as chair of the OSU Alumni Association, was appointed to the OSU A&M Board of Regents, and continued the tradition of riding in the OSU Homecoming Parade. And in returning home with Linda, he is able to enjoy year-round his greatest achievement, his family, and share his wisdom with the next generation.
Dream big. And I mean dream big in the biggest sense. Who would have thought that a little country boy from Kearney, Oklahoma, with 12 students in his graduating class, would end up being the CEO of a national organization that represents 70,000 pharmacists and 24,000 pharmacies, or who would be an advisor to the President of the United States on healthcare issues. So I would tell myself, dream big, dream big.
Congratulations to 2020 Oklahoma Hall of Fame honoree Calvin J. Anthony.
Thank you, President Hargis, for your kind words. It has been a true pleasure to work with Burns, watch the way he provides great leadership for Oklahoma State University. Burns and Ann have been exceptional leaders for the students at OSU, and I'm indebted to them both. There are numerous people responsible for me receiving this award. I can't name you all, but I must single out a few. First, I want to acknowledge my spouse of 52 years, Linda. She has been a true supporter and helpmate as we raised our 3 children and worked together in all of our various business ventures. Linda, you are wonderful and truly the wind beneath my wings. Our 3 children, Rebecca, a teacher, Luke, an attorney, and Andrew, a physician, and their spouses are the lights of our lives. And most importantly, they are the parents of our 7 exceptional grandchildren. And to my extended family, my brother and 3 sisters, thanks for your tolerance and support. I love you all. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize my fellow regents and the many friends who have been a part of my life. My father always told me to try and leave things better than you found them. Essentially, that is what we have tried to do, along with applying the golden rule of treating others the way you would want to be treated. In 1968, I married a young farm girl from Chandler. I could not have imagined the life ahead, as within months our great adventure began when we won a Volkswagen and an all-expense paid trip to Germany to pick it up. I knew then our marriage and life together were charmed. Many events have impacted my career. I've been privileged to live long enough to see the transition from phone party lines to carrying in my pocket a phone smarter than me. I've seen the beginning of television, the invention of the computer, and watched us send to and from the moon safely people. But the most impactful event in my life, besides my marriage, was the opportunity to receive a college education. It not only dramatically changed my life, it changed life for my family. Thank you to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame and the staff and the selection committee, and thank you all for this tremendous honor.
Calvin, we are thrilled to welcome you as a member of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. From Tallahena, our next presenter is Dr. Dee Boffman, a graduate of the Oklahoma State University College of Osteopathic Medicine, affiliated with the Choctaw Nation Health Services Authority.
It's a great honor for me to introduce my friend, Chief Gary Batten. Gary Dale, his mother was getting him. I remember the day I met Gary. I was the new kid, and he was the king of 3rd grade. At the first recess, Gary walks up and says, "Let's try this new kid out." He throws me a ball, and we take off across the playground. 15 minutes later, I have a friend. Back then, none of us thought of him as being a good speaker or great leader. We just thought he was cool. It soon became apparent there wasn't much that Gary couldn't accomplish. Now I realize that was because he put in the work, was focused, always pushing himself to achieve excellence. Gary faced obstacles that would derail most: separation in the home, parental health issues, and the loss of a brother. Credits his community, friends, and the love of his life, girlfriend, now wife, Angie, was seeing him through. I recall one thing that Gary didn't do well. He was a terrible trash talker. You would be playing a little one-on-one. He's winning by twice your score and saying things like, "Good move, nice shot." That was just Gary. He was at his best when pushing you to be at yours. That quality that brought him here, he applies it in everything. When he began to work with the tribe, good things began to happen. As Director of Health, there was huge growth, new programs, and a new hospital. As Assistant and now Chief, an entire tribe and their communities are elevated, encouraged, sometimes pushed, pulled, and dragged towards excellence. And Oklahoma has felt the impact. Gary strives for excellence and brings everyone around him along for the ride.
Gary Batten is the 47th chief of the Choctaw Nation, the third largest Indian tribe in the United States. Raised in Clayton, Oklahoma, Batten is the youngest child of Dolly and Earl Batten. A strong student, active in extracurricular activities including Future Farmers of America, where he served as president, and in sports. By the age of 14, Batten had lived through his father's paralysis, the result of a car accident, and the loss of a brother.
To go through those tough times helped make me become who I am today. It helped me understand that every person has trials and tribulations. I would want people to understand that don't let backgrounds, don't let race, don't let any of those things hold you back. You need to be who God has made you to be. Accept it, embrace it, love it, move forward, and be positive. Don't let anybody change anything about the way you are.
While attending Southeastern Oklahoma State University, Batten accepted his first position with the tribe, and upon graduation became Deputy Director of the Housing Authority, followed by Executive Director of Health and Assistant Chief. He established drug elimination and Boys and Girls Club programs. Among others, built the first tribally funded health facility in the United States and developed a $385 million economic plan to expand gaming facilities. His inaugural address as Chief of the Choctaw Nation in 2014 set a clear vision for his administration and those he serves. Under his leadership, the nation has expanded and opened health clinics, travel plazas, casinos, wellness centers, restaurants, child care centers, community centers, food distribution centers, and housing. A new judicial center opened, as well as the new tribal headquarters, and the nation is partnering with NASA and the FAA's Unmanned Aircraft Systems Integration Pilot Program for the advancement of drone research. In all, thousands of jobs have been created for the people of southeastern Oklahoma, and tribal businesses have realized an overall profitability increase of nearly 70%. Batten immerses himself in the company of others, from linguists, tribal councilmen, veterans and elders, to the youngest members and future of the tribe. Batten has advised presidents on tribal relations and strengthened and celebrated relationships with other countries, including Ireland, the recipient of Choctaw support during the potato famine in the early 1800s. An avid stickball player, an ancient game of strength played by the Choctaw for centuries, Batten played in an exhibition on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., and participates in the annual Trail of Tears bike team rides and walks. By his side through it all has been wife Angie. Married in 1987, the Battens are the proud parents of two, daughter Stacy and son David. The family has continued to grow, earning Batten a new title, Pawpaw to Jeffrey and Kaylin. A member of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame's 93rd class, Chief Gary Batten.
Halito and hello. When an individual receives this type of an award, there is always a wonderful group of people that surrounds that individual, helping them be successful. I am certainly no different. If it had not been for those around me, I would not be here tonight. First off, I'd like to thank God for His everlasting love and grace, forgiveness, and blessings. To my wife, Angie, who has been by my side for 33 years, she shoved, encouraged, guilted, and beat me to become better than I ever thought possible. My family, my son David, his wife Taylor, my grandchildren Jeffrey and Kaylin, thank you for always being there for me. My friends throughout the years, and when I say years, many I have known since the first grade, thank you for your friendship and the great times and laughs. My work family, you are the best. I'd put you up against any organization, anytime. Your heart and passion shine through all we have accomplished. Yako ki chito, or big thank you. To the Oklahoma Hall of Fame Board, thank you for your camaraderie and representing Oklahoma in a positive way. And to the staff, thank you for your dedication to preserving the history of Oklahoma. 2020 has been a very interesting time in history. The year we lost Kobe Bryant, experienced riots, and yes, there was a Tiger King. We have navigated a pandemic that has made social distancing, masks, and virtual events the new norm. Today, I believe it is critically important that we look to that which unites us, not the things that separate us. We are Oklahomans. It is our character to come together to find a way. I challenge you to rely upon that great character to make Oklahoma better. Oklahoma is a Choctaw word meaning red people, and I am honored to receive this award as a Choctaw and as an Oklahoman. Yako ki, thank you, and God bless you all.
Chief Batten, congratulations on your induction into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame and on continued growth and success of the Choctaw Nation. Made possible by contributions from and selected by prior inductees, the $6,000 Oklahoma Hall of Fame scholarship is awarded annually to one high school senior, with criteria for selection including academic achievement, civic engagement, and volunteerism. This year's recipient is Cameron Brewer from Seminoles Barnum High School. Let's learn more about this year's scholar.
So it was really important for me to apply for this scholarship because whenever I started to look into it and I started to read the questions, it really made me think about what it means to be an Oklahoman and how it's affected my life. What I enjoy most about serving in the community is honestly seeing the smiles on children's faces. It's usually I'm serving with kids and you can just tell they feel so loved. I definitely want to stay on the speech pathology track because growing up I found my love for kids with special needs who may need a little more help with that. It's very important for me to give back to Oklahoma because Oklahoma has given so much to me through giving me the agriculture aspect of life that brought me more friendships and better relationships than I ever could have hoped for. I don't think I would have found that anywhere else. I wouldn't have traded growing up in Oklahoma for anything else.
Cameron, we are proud to name you as this year's Oklahoma Hall of Fame scholarship recipient, and we look forward to following your academic career. Presenting our next honoree is the Carter County Commissioner representing District 3 and a director of the Association of County Commissioners of Oklahoma, Jerry Albert.
Tonight, I have the true honor to present Terry Stewart Forrest for induction to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. My wife and I moved to Oklahoma about 20 years ago. We have been blessed to have traveled throughout most of the country with the horse industry. We moved to Oklahoma because of the people of Oklahoma, and we made no mistake. Terry is not only one of those people that makes Oklahoma special, she is why Oklahoma is special. She is the epitome of Oklahoma values. I have been blessed to have spent many days traveling with Terry and many hours horseback alongside her. Her work ethic, American values show in her day-to-day life and in her exceptional history. Those who know Terry need not be told these things. Those who have had the blessings of time with her quickly see the high quality of person that she is. This is obviously portrayed in her life through her children, that are exceptional people because of her. And you see this in the people she surrounds herself with. Terry's quality and integrity also show in her business dealings. I've seen her brand calves one day and wrestle CEOs the next, and she's good at both. Her love of God, family, country, and the Oklahoma way of life show in every step she takes. To coin a phrase from Will Rogers, if you want to be successful, it's just this simple. Know what you're doing, love what you're doing, and believe in what you're doing. This is the Terry that I know and am proud to call my friend.
Born in Oklahoma City to R.T. Bob Stewart and Beatrice Carr, Terry Stewart Forrest will tell you that the time on the family ranch near Caddo when she was young chartered the course for her life. A graduate of Oklahoma City's Cassidy High School and Oklahoma State University, where it is rumored she selected her sorority because its parking lot would accommodate her truck and horse trailer, she earned her degree in animal science. She went to work for her father and successfully managed the horse program, including promotions and marketing, and aided with cattle operations. Following marriage, the birth of her sons, and a brief stint in real estate, Forrest graduated first in her class from Texas Christian University's ranch management program and returned to ranching full-time, managing operations in Atoka, Bryan, Jefferson, and Stevens counties, more than 45,000 acres, and the oldest family-owned ranch in the state of Oklahoma. Recognized as a leading breeder by the American Quarter Horse Association, Forrest has transformed the ranch's breeding program. The mare band today includes descendants of mares and stallions purchased by her father in the 1940s. Forrest is a cowgirl in its truest sense, from the arena and rodeos to working the herds, brandings, and vaccinations. She served as the first woman president of the Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association, was the first woman named Cattleman of the Year, and is an inductee to the National Cowgirl Hall of Fame. She also is a voice for the industry that she has devoted her life to.
I feel a great responsibility for the role agriculture plays in our lives. We provide food for this country, for this world, and there's less than 2% of the American population that are involved in agriculture, and we feed the world. We have a vital role. We have a vital role to provide a good, safe food supply for this country. And I can assure you the American farmer and American rancher works hard, works diligently to provide that food, the safest food supply in the whole entire world. And yes, we have a huge responsibility. We have a responsibility to take care of our resources. We have a responsibility to take care of our livestock. We have a responsibility to get that harvested and to your table. And we take a great deal of pride and the responsibility that goes hand in hand together with that. I think agriculture has a great future. Even though we tell our story, it sometimes falls on deaf ears. So I really hope and pray that as we go forward, that we can assure the American people that farmers and ranchers are the greatest environmentalists.
Today, Forrest has been joined by sons Clay and Robert, and operations have expanded with Stewart Ranch Outfitters, Bar S Corriente Cattle, and the Stewart Ranch Meat Company. The family, all making their homes on the ranch, also includes the 7th generation working alongside, ensuring this Stewart family legacy. Oklahoma's favorite cowgirl and a 2020 Oklahoma Hall of Fame honoree, Terry Stewart Forrest.
My grandmother, Ida Freeney Stewart, once said, "These beloved pioneers have left a great heritage for us. Many years of hardship and devotion to their country and family have produced hardy men of strong character. From this background came our great state of Oklahoma, in which there is much pride among her people. My family has been given an awesome responsibility by the Almighty God to be stewards of His country, His resources, and to provide protein to His people. We relish this and have been committed to this responsibility since 1868. Through determination, hard work, a love and passion for our way of life, and an unwavering faith in God, we have persevered. We strive for excellence and have faced challenges and extremes in every way possible. We must respect and honor the men and women on whose shoulders we stand, as a nation and as a family. I am a very small part of a very big picture and truly overwhelmed by this honor. It is difficult for me to accept this without acknowledging all the support I have had from family, friends, mentors, crews. Truly, the list is endless. I always seem to have had the right people in my life at the right time to guide or correct me. Failure taught me more than success, and that quitting was not an option. Go through that adversity and don't look back. Thank you to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame committee and staff for all you have done to make this moment so very special. I would like to leave on this note. Let's learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, for it's in adversity and challenges that strong people emerge. Let's embrace change, create our future, live our lives to the fullest, never quit, and honor those Oklahoma pioneers and leaders who came before us. Thank you again with all my heart. I am truly humbled.
Now that is a true Oklahoma cowgirl. Congratulations, Terry, on your induction. Our final presenter this evening is the senior partner of Hartzog Conger Kaysen and the chairman of the board of the Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, Len Kaysen.
In 2005, we began a nationwide search at OMRF to find a new president. Job description: he must be able to network with governors, and senators, and congresspeople. He must be a great scientist because we have over 125 great scientists on staff. They would expect nothing less. Must be an administrator. We have over 600 employees on campus. Must be able to raise money, and he must not be a Texan. So all roads after 1 year led to Dr. Steve Prescott. I talked to Steve many times on the phone. We became phone pals. I said, Steve, why don't you come to Oklahoma and visit? He said, well, Len, why don't you go through your list of candidates, and once you do that, I'll come out and visit. I said, Steve, I've got a list of candidates, but honestly, I don't have a runner-up to you. So Steve came to Oklahoma, he and Susan, and we met personally. I said, Steve, do you know much about Oklahoma? And he said, well, not really. Since we talked, I've read 12 books on Oklahoma history. I said, sure you did. I did not tell him that at Lindsay High School, I made a C in Oklahoma history. So he and Susan made the decision to come to Oklahoma. They made the decision to stay in Oklahoma. And I can tell you, over the past 14 years, Steve could have left Oklahoma at any time and had any job he wanted, whether in academia, whether in medical research, or in business. But he and Susan made the decision to stay. And it was a game-changing decision for OMRF, for people like me who know Steve, and for the state of Oklahoma. And I know that Steve has made a difference in the lives of many of you sitting out there today. So it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you and to present my very close friend and a great Oklahoman, Dr. Steve Prescott.
Dr. Stephen M. Prescott is an Oklahoman by choice. Named president of the Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation in 2006, Prescott raised $100 million to fund the largest expansion in OMRF history, a 186,000 square foot research facility. Scientists and physicians work daily to fight a range of illnesses, including heart disease, cancer, stroke, multiple sclerosis, lupus, and Alzheimer's disease. They have advanced the understanding and treatment in drug addiction, arthritis, and brain cancer. In addition to drugs that earned FDA approval and are now treating patients worldwide, the FDA also approved a pair of novel diagnostic tests, one that tests for the coronavirus. Prescott creates and invests in the culture of OMRF.
You got to have the right talent. So we work hard to find the best and brightest scientists, bring them here, and then nurture them, put them in an environment where they can succeed. So we have a culture at OMRF where everybody who works here does research. That can be the line cooks in the cafeteria. It can be the people who clean the offices at night. Every one of them believes that they are participating in research. They are, because we need it for the enterprise. And so we try to instill that spirit throughout the organization to make it easy for our scientists to go about their day, let them think great thoughts through their experiments.
A Texas native, Prescott grew up in a family of 4. Strong academically, he also excelled in sports. He graduated from Texas A&M University and the Baylor College of Medicine before completing advanced training in cardiology, internal medicine, and research. While at the University of Utah, he founded and directed a unique interdisciplinary research program in human genetics that led to the creation of the Huntsman Cancer Institute before joining OMRF. Prescott is a sought-after speaker and has received some of his profession's highest honors, including being named an elected fellow by the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland and honorary faculty at the Royal College of Surgeons of Armada, Cadiz, Spain. His selflessness and determination in finding the cure are contagious, resulting in an unmatched ability to harness talent for the benefit of others. He has a passion for music, something bestowed on him by his parents, and genuinely cherishes the gift of friendship. Prescott and wife Susan have been married for more than 50 years. Their life has been full of adventure. Their greatest adventure being parents to Allison and John, and grandparents to Ruby, Lily, and Isabella. In 2019, Prescott even officiated Ruby's wedding. A true navigator, Oklahoma Hall of Fame honoree, Dr. Stephen M. Prescott.
This is a singular honor, and as with every honor, I'm here today because of many people. Please allow me to thank just a few of them. The board of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, the selection committee, those who nominated me and those who supported my nomination. Then there's Dr. Rod McKeever, who first introduced me to Oklahoma and the Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation more than 30 years ago. Through our scientific collaborations, I got to know OMRF. Len Kaysen recruited me as chairman of the board to Oklahoma. He was persistent in his comments, and one of them was that Oklahoma was the right place for me. He was right. I've had the great fortune to live a charmed life. I've spent each day immersed in medical research. When you do something you love, you don't have to work a day in your life. And through research, I've met many wonderful friends and colleagues around the world. I owe much to OMRF's board of directors, who are so supportive of our mission and me. Indeed, this honor recognizes OMRF as much as it does me. For example, our scientists have invented 3 life-saving medications that can be found in hospitals and clinics worldwide. Important diagnostic tests that direct patients to the right treatment. Uncountable discoveries, all that advance our science and understanding of disease like cancer, lupus, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. It's a world-class group of scientists focused on making discoveries that make a difference. Beyond OMRF, the marvelous thing about Oklahoma is how the community welcomed Susan and me. That's not true everywhere. We loved engaging with arts and civics organizations. Thank you to everyone who helped connect us with these wonderful groups. As you may know, I've had some health challenges with cancer these past few years. Throughout, I've been moved by the kindness and thoughtfulness in the words and gestures of so many, many strangers and friends alike. In particular, I want to acknowledge Dr. Bill Hawley, who's gone above and beyond, way beyond. I began life with great advantages. Parents who always wanted the best for my brother and me, they instilled values that led to any success that I've had. Our children, John and Allison, who put up with a lot of absenteeism as I pursued my career. I'm so proud of the people that they've become. Lastly, but most importantly, there's my partner in life, Susan. You've supported me at every stage of my career. That doesn't begin to cover it. Thank you.
Dr. Prescott, words cannot express our gratitude for your work. We have one final guest appearance this evening. He is one of the greatest guitarists of all time. He has won more than 20 Grammys, and his latest album is titled simply Okie.
Hey everybody, it's Vince Gill from Nashville, Tennessee, a fellow Okie. Just wanted to take a second and wish everybody that's being inducted into the 2020 Oklahoma Hall of Fame a heartfelt congratulations. Lifetime of work, all very deserving, and sorry it's such a weird year, 2020, but it'll be a year that nobody will forget. And congratulations from me here in Nashville. God bless.
Thank you, Vince, for being with us this evening. And thanks also to Johnny Bench, Kristen Chenoweth, and Toby Keith for joining us. Well, JC, the 93rd Annual Oklahoma Hall of Fame induction ceremony is coming to a close. How about recognizing the class one more time?
Good deal, Becky. That's a great idea. On behalf of the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, we welcome the class of 2020. Calvin J. Anthony, Chief Gary Batten, Martha Berger, Charles Dennis Denny Cressup, Terry Stewart Forrest, Francis Rooney, Stephen M. Prescott, and John W. Smith.
What a class and what an evening. Again, we want to thank the patron donors that made tonight possible and all we do a reality. Thank you to the presenters for playing such a valuable role in celebrating tonight's honorees. And thank you to everyone who played a role in the production of tonight's virtual induction ceremony.
We also want to remind you that it's not too early to make your nominations for next year. You can find all the details at oklahomahof.com. It has been a privilege for Becky and me to serve as your Masters of Ceremonies, and we want to thank you for spending the evening with us. During these uncertain times, we wish you nothing but health, hope, and happiness for you and your families.
And now, please welcome back Kyle Dillingham and Horseshoe Road to perform the best state song.
Good
night,
night,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains, where the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. Oklahoma, every night my honey lamb and I sit alone and talk and watch the hawk making lazy circles in the sky. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. And then we say, yo, aye-yi-bi-yo, yay. We're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma, okay. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. And then we say, yo, aye-yi-bi-yo, yay. We're only saying,